Welcome to AGORACOM Talks, your weekly go-to source for the best small-cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007. Today, we are doing a deep dive into, well, a massive vulnerability in North America's tech sector. I mean, 95% of the battery-grade graphite we need is controlled by one foreign competitor.
Yeah, that is a huge bottleneck for the whole industry.
Right, but right now, a handful of small caps are quietly rewriting that script, bringing some serious breaking news energy.
Exactly, and we are seeing real data from these companies today. I mean, they aren't just issuing speculative press releases. They are proving out next-gen tech and unearthing serious subsurface value.
So our goal is to give you the strategic context behind those numbers, so you can do your own deep dive research. Let's jump straight into the battery revolution with HPQ Silicon Inc.
It really
symbol
changed
HPQ.
how
they
we
just had a
look at the
massive
whole
update.
situation.
They broke into the commercial drone market with their first battery order. The headline number is their 21700 format cells achieving 330.9 watt-hours per kilogram. But I mean, translate that for us. What does that actually mean for a drone operator?
Well, it is a total game changer for industrial capability. Think of it this way. A heavy-duty drone that used to fly for like 20 minutes before needing a battery swap can now stay in the air significantly longer.
Wow.
Yeah, and while carrying a much heavier payload, too. Plus, they're retaining 96% of their capacity after 100 deep discharge cycles. It is, the holy grail of power density meets durability.
Which explains why CEO Bernard Tourion was so confident, noting this validates their entire commercialization strategy. But look, you can't build these high-capacity batteries without advanced raw materials, right?
No, you definitely cannot.
So is it fair to say HPQ is building the high-performance engine, while PyroGenesis Inc., symbol PYR, is brewing the high-octane fuel to run it?
That is a perfect analogy, actually.
Because PYR just achieved a battery-grade graphite breakthrough. They took raw carbon black and hit a 96% graphitization level using a proprietary plasma process. How does plasma turn carbon black into battery material?
Right, so plasma is essentially superheated gas. They use this extreme heat, fueled just by natural gas or methane, to literally rearrange the molecular structure of cheap carbon black.
Wait, so they just, bake it into high-grade graphite?
Pretty much. It is almost like using heat and pressure to turn coal into a diamond, but, for batteries.
And that gets right to the geopolitical bottleneck. CEO Peter Pascali pointed out that the current Chinese dominance of graphite is a major vulnerability. PYR is positioning itself as the local solution.
Exactly. They are trying to build out a secure domestic supply chain right from scratch.
Okay, so moving from innovating clean tech to cleaning up legacy infrastructure, let's look at Zephyr Methane Corp, symbol ZEFI. Over the last 2 quarters, they generated a combined $22 million in revenue.
Which is incredible growth.
Right. They are capping abandoned leaking oil and gas wells in Pennsylvania using a radial elastomer expansion device. Break that technical jargon down for us.
Yeah, so radial elastomer is really just a highly technical term for a heavy-duty engineered rubber balloon.
Oh.
Yeah, instead of pouring massive amounts of concrete down a hole, they lower this device into the old well casing, expand it outward, and instantly choke off the methane leak.
And the economics are fascinating. Luke Plants, their senior VP, pointed out that traditional well remediation can cost hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars. ZEFI's solution is just a fraction of that cost.
It's so much more efficient.
Definitely. Now, while ZEFI is plugging holes, LaFleur Minerals Inc., symbol LFLR, is drilling them. They just confirmed a large-scale gold discovery at the Swanson project.
The numbers on that one are huge.
Yeah. Hole SW25080 returned 1.18 grams per ton of gold over 255.04 meters. And that includes a massive 44.4 grams per ton over a 1-meter subinterval.
To put 44.4 grams per ton in perspective for you, most modern gold mines are highly profitable, pulling out just like 1 or 2 grams per ton.
Wow. Okay.
So hitting FUMI 4 is literally like striking the geological lottery.
But let me ask you a pointed question. With LFLR drilling these holes, does a single extreme 1-meter hit of 44.4 grams fundamentally change a junior miner's valuation overnight? Or is that just geological noise?
Oh, it is not just noise. It proves the system is actually capable of producing ultra-high-grade zones. As CEO Paul Tenier noted, these holes extend the deposit way beyond their current resource envelope.
Making them a target for bigger players.
Exactly. Mid-tiers instantly put you on their radar.
Well, speaking of producers, what does it look like when a miner actually hits full-scale commercial production? Orezone Gold Corporation, symbol OREE, just reported a monster first quarter.
They really did.
They produced 38,789 ounces of gold, catching an average realized price of $4,887 per ounce. CEO Patrick Downey emphasized that acquiring the Casa Berardi project transforms them into a multi-asset producer. But here is my pushback.
Okay, let's hear it.
The report mentions they faced intermittent emulsion supply issues for blasting in West Africa. Doesn't becoming a multi-asset producer just mean inheriting multi-jurisdictional headaches?
You know, you are right to spot that risk, but it is the necessary trade-off in mining. If you are a single asset company and your blasting emulsion gets delayed at a port, your entire company just stops making money.
Right, you're totally stuck.
Exactly. By becoming a multi-asset producer, if one site hits a logistical wall, your other sites keep the cash flowing. You isolate the catastrophic risk.
That makes perfect sense. So looking at everything today, these small caps are dropping compelling data for deeper investor research.
Without a doubt, whether it is expanding drone payloads, securing local graphite, or capping methane leaks, they are solving real problems.
Which leaves you with one final provocative thought to chew on. If these nimble companies are solving massive global bottlenecks that conglomerates can't seem to fix, how long until the macro market giants are forced to just buy them out, rather than try to compete?